Welcome to my channel. Support our channel by subscribing. Your subscription helps us grow and create more intriguing content like this. Now, let's dive into today's story. Alex Carter, 38. A successful real estate agent, known for his charm and negotiation skills. A confident yet sensitive man, Alex is passionate about his job and loves playing basketball with his friends on weekends. He lives in a beautiful, family-oriented neighborhood in Atlanta. Jenna Carter, 36. Alex's wife, a marketing executive at a tech firm. Intelligent and ambitious, Jenna has a knack for strategy, which has propelled her career forward. She recently started spending more time at the gym and dressing more fashionably. Ethan Collins, 40. Alex's old college friend, now an FBI agent. Ethan is known for his meticulous nature, loyalty, and sharp mind. He rarely talks about his work, but his friends respect him for his integrity. Chris Walker, 34. A charismatic fitness trainer Jenna met through her company's wellness program. He's athletic, attentive, and exudes confidence. He knows how to use his charm to make people feel comfortable around him. Alex and Jenna have been married for 12 years, sharing countless memories and dreams. They built a life together in Atlanta, investing in their home and planning to travel more now that their careers were flourishing. Alex thought they had a rock-solid marriage, despite a few rough patches over the years. They had grown from being college sweethearts into what Alex believed were life partners. But in the past year, things had subtly changed. Jenna's late-night work commitments and constant texts had become a routine. Alex tried to dismiss the unsettling feeling that something was wrong, chalking it up to the pressures of Jenna's demanding job. He convinced himself that they were just going through a phase, as many couples did after being together for over a decade. The turning point came one warm Thursday evening when Alex received an unexpected call from Ethan. They hadn't seen each other in years, but Ethan insisted on meeting at their old college hangout, a cozy pub in downtown Atlanta. His voice was tense, different from the laid-back tone Alex remembered. As they sat at a corner booth, sipping on beers, Ethan seemed unusually reserved, like he was carrying a weight he wasn't sure how to unload. Ethan finally broke the silence, glancing around to make sure they weren't being overheard. "Alex, listen. What I'm about to tell you, it's not easy, and it's definitely not something I want to be involved in. But you're my friend, and you deserve to know the truth," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Alex felt a chill creep up his spine. Ethan's face, usually so composed, now looked conflicted and troubled. Alex leaned in closer, his mind racing with possibilities. Ethan took a deep breath before continuing. "During a surveillance assignment, I came across information about Jenna. It's not my job to pry into personal lives, but I saw her, Alex. She's been meeting this guy, Chris Walker. The surveillance wasn't on her, but the timing, the location, it was all too clear." Alex's mind struggled to process the words. The room seemed to spin as the weight of Ethan's revelation settled in. He clutched the edge of the table, trying to steady himself. His thoughts flashed to Jenna's late nights at the office, her phone that was always face down, the sudden interest in looking her best. It all started to make a horrible kind of sense. Are you sure?" Alex stammered, his voice barely holding back the storm of emotions building inside him. Ethan nodded solemnly. "I wouldn't bring this up if I wasn't certain. I even checked the dates, matched them with the time she claimed she was at work. I'm sorry, man." Alex barely made it through the rest of their conversation, his mind in turmoil. He thanked Ethan for the information, though his words felt hollow. As he drove home, his thoughts raced. Confronting Jenna outright was too risky. He needed to be sure, to see it with his own eyes. He decided to follow Ethan's advice and remain discreet for now. That night, Alex could barely sleep. He kept replaying moments in his mind, Jenna's sudden shift in attitude, the way she now guarded her phone, and the times she seemed distant. The next morning, he left for work earlier than usual, but instead of heading to the office, he parked near Jenna's workplace. From a distance, he watched her leave, not for her usual office building, but in a different direction. She drove towards a small, tucked-away cafe downtown, one that Alex hadn't heard her mention before. As Alex sat in his car, watching Jenna enter the cafe, he felt his stomach churn. Minutes later, he saw her meet Chris, a tall, athletic man who seemed overly familiar with Jenna. They sat by the window, their heads close together, laughing and sharing private smiles. Alex pulled out his phone and began recording, his hands trembling as he captured every second of their interaction. He watched in silence as Chris reached out to touch Jenna's hand, his thumb gently caressing her fingers. Jenna leaned in closer, a playful smile on her lips, and whispered something that made Chris chuckle. Alex's heart shattered as he realized he was witnessing a side of his wife he hadn't seen in years, carefree, flirtatious, and fully engaged. After about an hour, Jenna and Chris left the cafe, walking side by side, their shoulders brushing as they strolled towards Jenna's car. Alex followed them discreetly, his mind numb with disbelief and anger. They drove to a nearby hotel, and Alex's heart pounded as he watched them disappear inside. He couldn't bear to watch any longer. He sat in his car, fighting back tears, his mind grappling with the reality of the situation. Alex drove back home in a daze, his emotions swinging between heartbreak and fury. He knew he couldn't confront Jenna yet. He needed to stay calm and plan his next steps. He contacted Ethan, who agreed to help him discreetly gather more evidence. Over the next few weeks, they compiled text messages, photos, and even call logs that painted a clear picture of Jenna's betrayal. During this time, Alex played the role of a loving, oblivious husband. He cooked dinners, suggested weekend trips, and even surprised Jenna with flowers. Inside, however, he was boiling with rage, each smile a mask to hide his pain. Jenna seemed taken aback by his sudden affection, but she played along, unaware of the storm brewing beneath the surface. Alex's anger turned into a cold resolve. He wouldn't just confront Jenna, he would ensure that she faced the full weight of her actions. He meticulously planned a special anniversary dinner, inviting Ethan and a few close friends, setting up the scene for a reveal that Jenna would never forget. The night of the dinner arrived. Jenna was all smiles, dressed elegantly in the new dress Alex had gifted her, thinking it was a sign of their renewed connection. Alex, however, hid his true feelings behind a practiced smile. He had arranged everything perfectly, a candlelit table in their backyard, with their friends seated around, and a slideshow prepared to commemorate their years together. As the evening progressed, Alex stood up to make a toast. Jenna, these 12 years have been a journey, full of ups and downs, love and memories. I wanted to take a moment to share some of those with you all tonight, he said, gesturing towards the projector. The slideshow began with pictures from their wedding, vacations, and family gatherings. Jenna's smile widened as she relived the moments. But then, the images shifted to the ones Alex had gathered. Photos of Jenna with Chris at the cafe, their private moments in the hotel parking lot, and the text messages exchanged between them. Jenna's face drained of color. She looked around, realizing the friends present were watching the evidence unfold. Their expressions a mix of shock and sympathy for Alex. Alex continued, his voice breaking but steady. This is the woman I thought I knew, the one I trusted with my heart. And this is how she repaid me. Jenna stammered, trying to explain, but Alex silenced her with a raised hand. Don't. I've seen enough, Jenna. You've been lying to me for months, and you've shattered everything we built together. He pulled out a set of divorce papers from a folder on the table, dropping them in front of her. Sign these. Leave the house by the weekend. We're done. As Jenna left the table in tears, stumbling through apologies that no one seemed to believe, Alex felt a strange sense of relief. The betrayal still stung, but he knew he had taken control of the situation. Ethan placed a supportive hand on Alex's shoulder as their friends offered words of encouragement. In the weeks that followed, Alex adjusted to a new routine. The house felt emptier, quieter, but he found solace in focusing on his work and reconnecting with old hobbies. Ethan stayed in touch, checking in regularly to ensure Alex was coping well. One evening, Alex sat on his porch, looking out over the sunset, reflecting on how his life had changed. He had faced a painful truth, but in doing so, he had found a new strength within himself. He picked up his journal, starting a new entry. Sometimes, the hardest truths set us free. And that's how Alex uncovered the hidden truth about his wife's affair through an unlikely source, a friend who had his back when it mattered most. What would you do if you were in Alex's shoes? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.